So I'm still getting used to this. So I wanted to. I don't know why the chat is on the left. But anyways, how you doing, guys? This is the Red Pill News Dispensary. What the fuck, man? And it's such a mess in here too. Ugh, sorry, it's like a mess in that corner. All right, it's the Red Pill News Dispensary. Basically I'm just here to talk about everything that we've been going. I've been covering this story since about this time last night. Yeah, it was about this time. Actually, maybe a little bit later, but almost 24 hours now. Continuous coverage of this story. I know the story in and out. I know this story better than I've known basically any of the stories we've done, just because of like literally, not just because it's been 24 hours, but the whole 24 hours. Besides like 4 hours of sleep, maybe 3 hours of sleep, I've been studying this story along with returning texts, and I watched one episode of a show, and the rest of my time has been doing the story. So I have a firm grasp on it. Basically, back in the 1800s. Oh, I'm sorry, not the when was it exactly? It was an exact date, but yeah. Anyways, back some time ago, like 100 years ago, something like that. The Mormons escaped America. I think it was early 1900s. They left. A lot of them left America. A lot of Mormons left America because polygamy back then was like a thing. Not just with Mormonism, but with a lot of different religions. Polygamy was a thing. If you don't know what polygamy is, it means multiple wives, things like that. And so, you know, they wanted to keep that way of life. Um, and instead of fighting or anything like that, they just moved to Mexico and they created communities. There's actually over 1 million Mormons living in Mexico. I found that to be unbelievable. And, this one particular community we're talking about, where the Langfords were going, it's a big community in Chihuahua. And then you have Sonora, and that is where this all happened, on the highway. Now, by the way, all the questions we had earlier, I have either figured them out, gotten an answer, so let's go through it all. This is what happened. First, we're going to go through what happened. Then we're going to get into a deep dive. Okay. So, I just want to make sure I'm live, right? Like, I'm here, you guys are here. I know I'm here, but you guys can see me. Right? I'm not. I don't know why the chat box wouldn't be showing up. That's just weird. But that mess, man. So basically, if I double click, it'll show the mess in my corner right here by the AC. All right, now I can see it. Why is that? Why is that? It's so weird. And now I can see it. Yeah, it's a mess. It's my side of the bed, and at the end of the weekend, it's always a mess. The whole weekend, it's a mess. All right. What is going on? What is freaking that? Oh, this is for me to type. Alright, I just put K. Alright. I don't know why the chat's over here, but okay. So you guys have been here. So, Joe Shills from Boston. You guys can see me. You guys can hear me. Everything, right? before I get into this. Just want to make sure. Where an 11-year-old can walk topless. I heard about that, Steve-O. How crazy is that? You know, that is unbelievable. No, we're talking about an old law. Polygamy has been illegal for many years, since the early 1900s, possibly even like the 1800s. But yeah, polygamy has been illegal for a long time. Open polygamy like that. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's illegal because that's why they left. Maybe they were just being kind of like persecuted for it, or like they just weren't comfortable with being polygamous here. Anyways, so in total, about 1 million Mormons fled, or I should say, live there now, because of the ones who fled. And the ones who fled, that was their thing, was the polygamy. Now, from what I understand, as time has gone, especially, since the 60s, the polygamy, it's less and less. You don't see that as much. I see something. Anyways, so polygamy is gone, and see, I'm getting messed up by this. So I want to go through the story with you guys. So there were 3 cars. There weren't 4, and that's what I said. So I was like, I think there were 3. There might have been 4. No, 3 cars. Okay, 3 cars, and they were traveling, and like I said, they were not together in a motorcade at all. In fact, the Miller car, which had Renita Miller, the twins, Tiana and Titus Miller, both 8 months old. It's crazy. A 2-year-old. I'm going off memories. I just want to make sure I got their names right. Ryder Miller, I believe. And then Howard Miller. Did she have 5 kids with her? Wow. Howard Miller. Is that right? No. I think it was Howard Langford. Anyways, I forget the name. Right? Do I forget the name, or is that everyone? Anyway, so she had the twins, the 2-year-old, and whatever. I'm gonna show you in a second anyway. I figured out a way that I can show you. So this car was 12 miles ahead of the other cars. Now, the other cars were like, for some reason, they were stopped at the moment when that car was hit, and they were traveling. And that's the car that they went after first. It was the first car that came down that road, and they went after it. And where does the chat pop up for you guys? Does the chat pop up? Like, yeah, it's kind of hard. When you're looking at my face, is it to the right or to the left? Is it towards the anonymous Uncle Sam, or is it on the other side where it says last donator and last follower? Which one? It is on the right, or on Chrome it is on the right, left. So if you guys should just say like towards the red pill symbols, or towards the the symbol, the side where it says last donator and last follower. No, it's not my right. So everyone has a chat coming up in different places. See, Heather Dawes, that's where I see it. It's over like some of the stuff, some of the graphics. Whereas it's supposed to be over above the last donator and last follower thing at the bottom. Bottom right for me. I don't know. I think it must be bottom right for you guys too. Anyways, that's fine. I was just curious because they were going right over my face. I'm like, I set up the chat so that it would be over here. Why is it over there? Anyways, no big deal. So it's 12 miles down the road, right? And so in that car, like I said, with those people. Now the next car that came up had Christina Marie Langford Johnson. Now she only had, despite how many kids are involved. Now, mind you, there were 4 kids in Renita Miller's car. That was the car. That was the first car that was like 12 miles ahead and was burned to a crisp. Now, next came, like I said, Christina Marie Langford last Johnson. So her husband's last name was Johnson. And basically, she saw what was going down. She knew what was going to happen. She had a 7-month-old daughter with her. Now, this woman, I don't care what I reveal later. This woman is a hero. Listen to this, guys. She put her 7-month-old daughter, whose name is Faith. All right? You hear that one? Her name is Faith Langford. The 7-month-old daughter, Faith Langford. This was an attack. It was not crossfire, Heather Dawes. Because think of it. That's what I was trying to say earlier. They were reporting it as a crossfire thing. But a source told me, no, these 3 cars were totally separate. We're talking, like dozens of miles, a dozen miles from the first car to this car that I'm talking about now. You know? So take that for what you will. The mainstream media got it wrong. We get it right here. We make sure we get it right. And if it's a little bit twisted and we're not sure, we'll make sure we clarify. I've been working on this all day. I know it inside and out. So the attack, it was an attack. It wasn't crossfire. It was an attack. Like I said, it wouldn't be crossfire. It would have to be. It wasn't synchronized, just like I said. But they were all attacked, nonetheless. The story is still confusing. Yeah, it was a hit. I was still reading your old. So you get that, right, Heather Dawes? Yeah, of course. Yeah, the crossfire story. Well, it did make sense if they were all in a motorcade. Although there were some things that I was like, huh, so, what are they? Like I said, I tried to say it lightly because this is some serious stuff. They're like the Sharks and the Jets meeting up, one on each mountaintop, in Sonora and having a shootout. It just sounded weird. And then they happen to be just in the middle. A bunch of women and children, like a car. Wait till you hear about the next guy, how many children were in it. It's crazy. So, yeah, it's crazy, yeah. And that boy, to hide them like that. And that makes no sense in a crossfire situation, right? So it was, yeah, and that's exactly what it was. Like I said, yep, and like you just said. So, I have an intelligent audience. But, so, let's talk about this woman. This is something that is amazing. Christina Marie Langford Johnson. Hopefully it's the last time I have to say that name. I mean, I think she's an awesome woman. I was gonna make her picture the profile picture. I was so like obsessed. Oh, did I even do a profile picture? Damn. A thumbnail picture? I don't think I did. I hope people know. Alright, anyways. Oh, I did? Alright, good. Alright, so what ended up happening was she took her 7-month-old, who's named Faith, okay? And she stuffed her under the seats and got out of the car, raised her hands. They're like, "Who's with you?" She's like, "No one, no one," And they caught her. They shot her in cold blood right there, as she stood there with her hands up. Shot her, basically executed her right on the road. And I don't know, that baby must have been sleeping or something, because the baby wasn't found for 11 hours. So if my math is right, when we first started reporting this, that baby was still missing. That's probably why my source said there's extra missing people, which we'll get to later as well. The missing. Obviously, this is a baby and hidden, so, no sexual stuff, at least I hope. I mean, I don't think so, but none of that was going on with her, obviously. So then the third car, driven by Dawes Langford, had 9 kids inside that car. And that's crazy. How can you have 9 kids? I guess if you have like one of those like family, like a I don't know, like a van, 3, 3, 3, even 2, 3, 3, one in the passenger seat. But it sounds like they were, they were all family, because why would they have the other one? I thought I wouldn't have to say his whole name again. Christina, we'll call her Christina. Why wouldn't they have Christina take some of the kids in her car when she just has the baby? I mean, that would have cost her baby's life without her knowing it. But I don't know, things happen in a funny way sometimes. And for some reason, it's probably because they're all her own kids and they have a car and they're used to traveling like that. So move to my left. So tell me, is that better? Heather Dawes, is that better? I set it all up perfect. And then all of a sudden the chat is in like 4 different places. So the other way. Really? Because that doesn't really see, to me, that seems crazy. This way? So is this good? Alright. Is this okay in the middle? Alright, so. Alright, good. Now. 9 kids in the car, right? So they're traveling, so they end up traveling along. Now, like I said, not only are all these cars distanced, there's a lot of distance in between these cars, but also they're all leaving at totally different times. There was at one point that they were all together because they were seeing off the Miller family, who was heading to Phoenix to see her husband. That's true. And there's going to be a lot more that we're going to talk about Renita Miller. So be prepared. In fact, I think right now is a good time. So anyways, the 9 kids, we know only one car was burned. That was the Miller family car. And no, I'm happy. No, don't be sorry. I'm happy you told me. I want it to look right. So if I'm sitting there and I have like a graphic over my face, it kind of takes away from the story. So 9 kids in the car. We know that already X amount of people had died. And then they just executed Christina. So at that point, you have like something like 6 dead. And then we know that the driver of this car, the mother, who was probably saving her children, and probably told her oldest son to, take care of them. But it sounds like they just sprayed up the car, because basically everyone was wounded except for that, amazingly, the oldest, the 13-year-old, Devin, I believe, right? Devin, right? And then now I realize there's a second person who was unwounded. That was a 7-month-old in the second car with Christina driving. So that 7-month-old baby that was put under the seat and not found for 11 hours, which shows you how shitty the police are in Mexico. You can't find a fucking baby underneath the car at a massacre. I mean, you should be looking for bodies, dead bodies, let alone, I mean, I would, I understand they're not thinking they're going to find an alive baby under the seat, but you should find it. The baby's probably making noise. There's so many different reasons why you should find that baby. How did they not find that baby? It's 11 hours. So, my baby's 2. Not too long ago, she was at that age. And trust me, they were 11 hours without milk. Are you kidding me? That's way overdue. They are not just crying. They are screaming. They are doing that type of cry where they turn red. And you can't find them? How many dead? Right now, because there's still some stuff going on at the hospital, and we're going to get into that as well. But right now, there are 9 dead. 3 adults, 6 children, ranging from 8-month-old twins to a 2-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Actually, this is my 4th video. I started out, I reported the existence of this story, basically, and gave the breakdown. The second one was more like, I dug deeper. The third one, I started to raise some questions. Things started to not make sense, because I knew so much about the story by then that when I'd watch the MSM, I'm like, that's a lie. Why would they lie about that? And that's a lie too. And that too. What's going on here? Well, if they're lying, then I know there's something going on. There's no reason to lie about those things. They're so inconsequential. So they're hiding something. Sure enough, they were hiding a lot. And we're going to get into it. Yeah, but there's more to it. So I agree. No matter what, I don't want to give anything away. All right, so let's get into this. Let's see if this works. Hopefully this works and I don't disappear. All right, can you guys see my screen? Oh yeah, I think this has to be portrait though. Oh no, it has to be the other way. I hope I'm not talking to myself, but we'll see. You know what? There is a way to check. Oh, I didn't do a. That's not good. Oh, I didn't do a. Okay, so you guys can see what's going on. Alright. Honestly, guys, no one's gonna come in here with the thing like that. That's so bad. Just let me do this real quick, because that is, like, hard. I would just put anything up instead of that. Oh, where's my thing? Why can't I do it here? Oh my. This is why live, man. Oh, and while I'm here, you know what? I can show you guys that I never received $1 from YouTube, ever. Oh, and by the way, this is what happens. See, every video I do, automatically not monetized, right? So you got to hit request review, and then you have to, just real quick, request manual review, hit the box, and submit. And then in 3 to 5 days, they'll probably let it through unless I did some stuff. And I'll do an after ad video, and that's it. Alright, so, and then you save. But yeah, so basically that's how. Let's see. Okay, so. But yeah, that's what happens with monetization. You hear people complain about monetization. That's kind of like an idea of it. You're monetized before you even start. Like this video, have I done anything to be demonetized? I don't think I've even cussed once. And, well, it's not here yet. It's live, so. Come on. You know what? I can do that stuff later. Okay, yeah, good. I just kind of wanted to show you guys the money that, I haven't made any money on YouTube. I've never. It says save chin. Why is it like that? Oh, I think I have to click here. Okay. Yeah, the non-skip. I have the skippable ones. Okay, all set. And then this video, that should be it. And who are all these dislikes? I've been covering this really thorough. I don't know why anybody would dislike any of the videos, honestly. I mean, by the last video, I was so tired. Because, let's just say I should have bought a computer from a regular brand new computer instead of having a refurbished one. Having some trouble with it. Basically, it has a touchpad as a mouse, and it's not working. So let's see. I'll figure it out, though. Either that, or I'm going to go there and return it. They do have a return policy, so I'm thinking about just doing that. And then just get a brand new computer with that money. And it will still be the Kelly Keyboard computer Just like, with someone else. Times, like, my mother needs to borrow $20. It's right before, the day before her check, or I need to borrow $20. You know how many times, like, my mother needs to borrow $20 the day before she gets her check. Well, I need to borrow $20 right before I get my check. Well, that happens all the time, and you just use Venmo. There's literally, like, usually here. Why would that one come up before this? Come on, hurry up, hurry up. I just want to make a picture. Okay. It's a little bit different than what I'm used to, but I'm going to figure it out. Yeah, here we go. And look, see? They already demonetized this. That's what I mean. I haven't swore. It was bothering me talking about it. I was having a little bit of trouble talking about it, honestly. But I ended up, getting through it. It wasn't a comfortable thing. But I need to get used to that type. It's just when it involves, like, babies, and I'm just being honest, and we all have our own little world, and, if I had a boy, then it would be, a boy would be something that I would relate to more, and it would maybe bother me, pull at my heartstrings just that much more. All right? We're not receiving. Well, you guys are getting it, so that's BS. I just want to get rid of this crazy. I want to put a real. I don't even care. I just something, just anything in there except for that. Base way too much about a video on a thumbnail. I do it. We all do it. It's natural. If a thumbnail is just like the guy's face and, like, he's kind of like halfway, not even looking straight, you're gonna think, what kind of crazy crap is this? I don't want to watch that. And I want as many people live here as possible with us. This is ridiculous. Why does it say change thumbnail for this, but not this? Let's see what happens to that change thumbnail. What happened? What happened? Well, I guess I'm screwed. That's just gonna have to be it. Alright, screw it. I don't even know what to do. There's nothing I can do. Hey, negotiator's all good. Negotiator's all good. Why? What happened with negotiator? What did negotiator say? I'd like to know. Why would... I don't understand. He said, no, you have not cussed yet. Doing a good job. What's wrong with that, Kenley? I mean, it's okay, Kenley. Accidents happen. But what's up with that? Why would you delete that? Well, it'll tell me who... Yeah, negotiator was timed out by Kenley. It says. Kenley. See it? You see the screen? It tells me, It tells all of us, actually. Negotiator was timed out by Kenley. It's right in the middle of my chat right there for 300 seconds. And it's okay. But you're saying that you didn't do it? Very interesting. Maybe trying to make a point? I don't understand. What's going on, guys? All right, Mr. Sublime. Good to hear. Good to see you. Brian Cole. No, it's not a glitch. Well, I mean, Kenley, you did, though. It just might have not been on purpose. You know how many... There's been so many times I've added people as moderators by accident. Because I'm scrolling, and I click their name, and as I'm scrolling, I hit add moderator somehow. And, add them. That happens to all YouTubers. They'll block people and not realize that they blocked them, and it happens a lot of times. So if you were scrolling through chat just recently, you hit negotiator's name and then put him on timeout. Yeah, slip click. So negotiator, he said it's okay. So everyone good? Yeah, I know you. So Kenley, it's not a problem at all. So you don't have to be defensive, but you did do it. I mean, it says it. I do trust this. That what it says. I just think that you were doing what I do all the time, and you were scrolling through. What? Kelly Jean? You're crazy. Alright, guys. So it looks like I should have been, while you guys were all talking about that, I should have been trying to figure out how to get this stupid picture off. But it looks like I might be screwed. No, Amanda has the baby. Lady of the Fork. Are you saying that to me? She's in bed. She's sleeping. But she must have woke up. So Amanda just went in there. I see you, Kelly Jean. I'm just joking with you. That's why I know I can joke with you. Other people I try not to joke with because they don't understand. Busting balls is just the weird thing we do out here. Alright, so whatever, guys. I'm not gonna waste your time. I just want to make it so that more people come. And by having it like that, that's not good. And look, I want to show you guys too what they do. Now I see why Kenley said interesting. I didn't say anything wrong. And Negotiator confirmed that in the chat by saying, no, so far you've been totally good, whatever he said. You've been very good. No. I did it on purpose. I think it's important to fully understand, how serious the situation is. Okay, yep, you're all good. Go ahead. You can monetize now. But by then, everybody's already watched it, right? So it's like it's really a pain in the ass. Ooh, maybe this is the one place that I can do it. See, it's only 23, and it's like a 4-part series, honestly. So I'd be really surprised by it. Damn it, to bring it right here? And there's no way to, because that really matters. I know that oh my. Well, it's literally nothing I can do about this. Screw it. They know. Anyone who's been watching knows. Let's get into this a little bit. Let's get into this story. So first, okay, here we go. The CBS News, the story, all of that. Just give me a yes or no. That's it. And that's the last little check-in I have to do. After that, then I'm just ready to go. Just give me a yes or no. That's not good. Oh, I didn't do a, 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 that's not. Yes, so you guys could see that when I was just reading that CBS. Wait. I'm trying to find it. Yep. Okay, good. Wow, I'm surprised. All right, this is great. All right, so let's get into it. Great. That's awesome. Can I do it here? Come on, baby. Come on. By the way, if anyone wants to email me, I'll just put quick email. The Red Pill News at proton.mail. All right, and then to donate, the best way is the way that goes straight to the channel. PayPal. If you guys are looking for the other ways to donate to me, and that would go to like me and my family, just look at a different video. You'll find it. Venmo or Cash App are the best. Super chats, same that would also go to my family, but you don't have to do those. I mean, they end up taking such a high percentage of the Cash Apps. They're convenient because you could just do it right in chat, but it's kind of. So real quick, I'll just go like this. Okay. It's just click this link. I'm pretty sure that's right. But you know what? Just in case, I would, if you do want to donate, just check one of the other older videos and it'll have the correct information in there. Because there's a chance that it's just the Red Pill and not the Red Pill News. But that's it. That's it, I'm pretty sure. The Red Pill News. But it might just be the Red Pill. So, just to be safe, make sure you send in anything the right way. And also I would like include, maybe send me like an email and just tell me what you, as far as the get. The way you would win is if you donate over $50, your choice of Red Pill merchandise. So I think that it's a great idea. It's just sometimes, at some point, just, I haven't throughout, my like set, and she doesn't have money to throw around like that, but she's been to make all this time showing up to the house with a gun. It's just, it all weighs on bringing truth to people. And if we've never seen them before, just try to be friendly, research and putting all this stuff together, working on all this stuff nonstop, because I use my actual phone. I have a second phone, but this is my like actual phone now. And it's like all day I'm getting intel all day, and that's fine. I love it. But then reading the emails and back and forth and all that, just all the hours, it's like I'm not making anything to, make that worth it. Covering this story, you know, I, I do it because I like to. And at least there's something you can, but it is the most powerful thing on earth. And I said God created earth, but he's not on earth, at least right now. Well, he's everywhere, so I guess so. So I guess the second most powerful thing. But anyways, let's get to the story. I'm happy that you guys can see it. All right, good. I hate that. I really hate that thumbnail. Okay, so I got that out of the way. If you guys want to donate, just go to one of the old videos, and PayPal is the best way. If you want to do it for the channel and equipment. And for me, Venmo or Cash App is the best way. I know that the most convenient is Super Chat, but if you want a Super Chat, that's fine too. That's totally fine. It's just they take a percentage. So, but that's fine too. I didn't even show you guys yet how they haven't paid me. YouTube's never paid me the money that they are supposed to. But I promise I will before the stream's over. But let me get back to where we were. Oh, that's us down in the corner. Okay. So 13-year-old here at the Red Pill News Dispensary. We've been breaking stories left and right for hours upon hours. And I credit the direction a lot of time. It's a team effort. It's not me. A black woman and 6 children were killed after the extensive. Say are being treated in a Tucson hospital. After Hanford was able to explain what happened and have the adult actually believe it, they were, and have that baby not make noise and attract attention. I still find that. Anyways, just read along, because at the end, you guys might be. He then walked 14 miles for help. His 9-year-old and she walked for 4 hours in the dark before finally finding rescuers. The survivors were airlifted to Arizona. Now, shot in the chest. That was Brixton, oldest. Kylie was actually the oldest, and she was shot in the foot. And believe it or not, the one that, they don't think the 9-year-old was having some trouble, or 8-year-old that was shot in the jaw. Okay, so we'll continue. The tiniest miracle, and this is what I just told you guys about, and I didn't hear this anywhere. That's why I was like really surprised, because you can find stories, where the okay, sorry about that. Let me get right. I'd rather be able to see it. That's why, I like to be able to see it and expose them. So the tiniest miracle was 7-month-old Faith Langford. Her mother, 29-year-old Christina Langford Johnson, hid in her bathroom 11 hours after the massacre, which blows my mind. It just tells you like how inept these mountain Mexican people are at police work. 11 hours? Are you joking? You're investigating like the biggest massacre in the world for that day, for that week potentially, and what? You can't find a crying baby? You don't know what, You need to confirm that they're definitely not in that car. And you don't find a baby under a seat? Or in a seat or whatever it was? You don't find that baby? The baby wasn't injured and like dead or anything. The baby was totally healthy, and oh, trust me, it was bushes, and after being shot and strength to cry. I mean, I've seen that in situations. But anyways, this 11. So all right. Anyways, her mother exited the vehicle with her. What is going on? What just happened? Alright, hold on a second. Yeah, screw that. Alright, here we go. Alright, sorry about that. And if my conjecture is like too much for you guys, I'm sorry, but I think out loud as I read too, as I'm reading it. Like, I just read these, make sure they're legit, make sure they're covering the angle I want, and a lot of it's new to me. So, I just pick them based on are they, and then that leave it to you to find the truth. He was executed right in the road. Picture. The victims, it was just the 60s. The polygamists, like, were big, was when the polygamy, So let's go. It settled in the mountain decades ago. A member of the group was killed by the cartel 10 years ago. And there's also something else that happened 10 years ago. But I'm going to wait and see if it's in one of these articles, and then I'll tell you. A source told, so remember that. It was, it was, them. These witnesses that saw it were probably just regular citizens. I mean, like it says, this was spread out for miles. Unbelievable. And by the way, here's the family. Oh, wait. That is... Yeah, that's the Miller family. So I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, this is the Miller family. Of a bad... I don't know who these investigators think. The brilliant Mexican government. I think that's the reason that ABC News was going with it, and basically all the media was going with a shootout. Even Trump mentioned it. I do not see that's how it happened. How could it be a shootout if they're 12 miles away from the first? You guys understand what I'm saying? I don't. So, again, the Mexican government has spoken, supported, and put out this. Right now, they're at the point where they say, okay, there's two potential scenarios. They're like bringing in the possibility of another scenario. Crooked cartels, and always has been, saying that it was a shootout. And you know why? Right now, the Mexican government, for the first time, sound very bad. Although I don't think you have to lie. I think they sound bad enough. You know, ambushing them, it's even worse. You know, a shootout, it makes it sound like it could have been an accident. This was no accident, folks. No accident here. And by the way, so this picture, this is Maria. I want to see what it says about the husband. Hold on. Were killed in the attack. Why are the husbands? That's one thing that I'm still having trouble getting answers for. Although I think I found a way to get answers, and I was wondering. Look at that beard, though, huh? Is that all beard? Yeah, it is. Wow. And she's beautiful. Yeah, I think she's out of his league. I mean, you know, it's amazing. It's down, his beard is like, wow. It's unbelievable. Alright. Shootout, and it was more of a... So when I say that, I should say federale. I can't say police, because the police literally are the cartel. But the federale, that's how they should treat it. Howard Miller. I'll put Howard Miller, wife of Maria Ronita. And we'll have all the information we need. Down with the flat tire before it was riddled with bullets, causing the car to explode. Honestly, that sounds like bullshit. So you're telling me this car is struggling to get by, let's just say. Especially the Millers. The Miller family, they are not struggling to get by. They are extremely well off. I looked into their family connections. You know, they are the owning class. Like, basically I almost want to say ruling class, but, you know, like they are upper class. That's word right. Two other vehicles that were following the correct grammar. We'll do some like internet crap. This is ABC News. But alright. Yep. They were following them and they was hit. Not they were hit. Paragraphs. I'll be good. Mexico has dealt with a string of violent incidents in the last month with heavy weapons. See, what did I say? We used to have a thing called the mafia, and the mob exists to a point. It's just kind of like changed its tactics and gone into more, you know, cities like Chicago have a lot of murders. But I know that for a fact. I used to live in a place. If anyone knows like Joyner Lucas, like when you see that, or then there was Clark University. They have it in Worcester, Mass. Look that up. It's pretty like 8 times. And the thing is, I didn't even realize. I don't listen to new rappers. I just think they're all lame. I think that I just don't like it. But anyways, back to this story. Just a little bit of background on how did I get to talking about that with Worcester? Oh, because of the way that for relatives spread across several. We read that too, and we read this. Oh yeah, or else you're all gonna die right here, right now, because we've already killed like 14 of you, and you've killed like 2 of us, and we have You know, they had already killed how many? Yeah, they had already killed 4. That's just the way it is. You know, when your feds try to go and arrest El Chapo, get him, and then have to the much more powerful, much better weaponry, and much more men and better organized. You know, when that happens and you have to release him because you guys are getting killed one by one by one by one, that's when you know you got a problem. That's when like, it's just that must be so, like, let's say it's a good cop that doesn't enjoy that's the way things are, and that he has to work with them. That must be pretty tough to deal with. So I'll read that again. Days later, security forces were forced. So, damn, this phone, they got surrounded. They had El Chapo, and the other side said, "Let him go, and we'll let you live. We already killed 14 of you. Let him go. We'll let you live." They let him go, and they probably didn't. They probably let like half of them live. You know what I mean? Like, nah, they probably honored the agreement, let them live. But at that point, they had already killed 14. Although that sounds like it was prior. So the 14 police officers sounds like good cops that were trying to do the right thing, and they were taken out. Probably with the help of bad cops, along with the cartel, who are one and the same sometimes. Whereas, to me, that sounds like some good cops trying to do. That's that. That's that story. I'm going to move on to another story. I'll do questions after a couple more stories. We've only done one story. And I know I still talked after I said I was going to kind of stop with the, but I'll do my best. All right. So this family ago, and the fact that there's like over 1 million, one of the biggest families, and we're talking a huge family, because I don't think they're French. So let's go with this. This is written today, Star Tribune. This is from the Star Tribune, and it's more local to North Dakota. But Boston 7. Anyone from Boston understands the difference. They just split up, and Boston 7. Come on, buddy. Really? Seriously, dude? Like, did he really just write that? 15 children and 3 women, and he mistook them? These white, like, as white can be, wicked, wicked white children. We're talking infants and toddlers, and you know what I mean? Like, the oldest was 14 and 13. After that, it was 9, and then a bunch of like 4, 2, 3. A rival cartel, hardened, been to prison half their life, gang members. Are you fucking kidding me? This newspaper is a joke. I didn't even read that part. There was just something in here that I was like, all right, I need to make sure that is put into the equation so people can have an educated decision. So forgive me for this guy. What's this guy's name? Dan Browning. If I was, he was saying this at 7:38. At 7:38, we knew that at the Red Pill News Dispensary we were talking about this. We were talking about this well before that, and we never would have said that. We knew at that point that at the very least that wasn't the case. Man, it's just the family has a ranch near the borders. So wait. Long haul. Whereas the Millers were more so like just visiting, and she was going to get her husband at the airport in Phoenix. But according to this, This guy who just said a couple of very stupid things. They actually live in North Dakota. So we're gonna have to look into that. That's new to me. I knew they had strong ties to North Dakota. I just didn't realize they lived there. All right. The family has a ranch near the borders of the states of Sonora and Chihuahua, where this all went down. About 150 to 200 extended family members live there. It's a lot more than that. Oh, just family members. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right, yeah. And many others from the U.S. visit regularly. Said Kenny, there's that name again, LeBaron, 32, they all own something, by the way. Because they're filthy rich. The family is just like, it's like one of those families where every single person who has that name either owns something or is on the board of something. That's why sometimes you see people and it's like he's the boss. They're not. It's like in a hospital. The people who are the best up with this epidemic. Now there's a couple bad ones, but it's a lot more rare to get a bad nurse than it is at other professions. Nurses I find them amazing, to be honest. Just watching them work. It's like knew so much and could do so much. And the doctors were so clueless. And they would tell me everything. Yet it would be stuff that the doctor didn't even, like super nurse. No, like multiple different nurses. And it wasn't just like one dumb doctor. No, multiple dumb doctors. So it's kind of funny. Sometimes people just get status based on money and power. But in reality, that doesn't mean they can outthink, outwork, or really outlast, somebody who has compassion. That's one thing rich people lack a lot of is compassion. Or else they wouldn't be rich. That's how you get rich. So, LeBaron said he got updates Monday and encrypted messaging system. Phone. Like, the most horrific. They send it through a text, an encrypted text at that. And it's not even just like, hey man, listen, grandma didn't make it. No, it's like, hey, and say that through an encrypted app, through a text. Like, I don't know, man. That's kind of weird. Didn't really make sense to me. But you get the whole story from them, LeBaron said. He said his cousin, Ronita Miller of Williston, was on her way to the airport to pick up her husband by hillsides. The road she and 4 of her children were traveling runs along the border between the states of Chihuahua and Sonora, where rival cartels are fighting for territory. The Millers had planned to go shopping for a wedding gift for Kendra Miller. So I'm sure I understood that. So able to pick up her husband. So his name, like we said, is Howard Miller. Her vehicle was struck by gunfire from the nearby hillsides. She and 4 of her children were traveling, runs along the border. Great place to live. The Millers had planned to go shopping for a wedding gift for Kendra Miller. That poor thing. Could you imagine? Your big day, your wedding. It's coming up. You're so excited. That's tough. But, that's nothing compared to what these families are going through. Although but her brother's not going to be okay. His whole family was shot and burned. So he's gonna have problems. He'll probably maybe suicide. Who knows? It's not gonna be a good life for anybody involved. Whether you're directly involved, indirectly involved, family member, whether you were wounded, it's not going to be a good situation for anybody. So, let's continue. Mormons have a long history in Mexico. Everyone thinks it was mistaken identity. We think that they were simply driving and they saw vehicles. You are definitely suspect, bro. That makes no sense. And the fact that this guy is like trying to persuade people to think otherwise is making me not trust him. I could be wrong, but it's making me not feel too good about this. And his family's involvement or whatever the situation is. And if I'm wrong, I probably, it's a very sensitive thing, and I feel like I have to almost be careful, and I have to kind of hold back. But screw that. I'm not going to get any truth out if I hold back. I mean, I will hold back a lot. Even if it contradicts something I said in the first show. I don't care. You know what I mean? If I just went with what I said in the first show, I'd be a show. I'm not no show. You guys know that. So after, when people go in and save the living, once they started, I'm telling you, this guy is in let the people go in and save the living. Shooting and wouldn't stop, or they realized what they were doing, stopped, and then let the people in to save the living. So I don't really understand this guy's writing. But like I said, I try not to read the articles because I like to have who is in Mexico. So he's in Mexico, huh? But he sent a message saying he was hurting. Okay. Makes sense. I would expect a little bit more than that, but I'm not gonna accuse an innocent man of, in grief, how to grieve. Just kind of seems weird. LeBaron said after the shooting, 2 more vehicles pulled up, carrying more family members. Oh yeah, the LeBarons, and it's interesting what you find when you start digging. And they're very wealthy as families. LeBaron's 7 vehicles jumped out, tucked in the seat. That's I was like, what? Under the seat, she tried to. I mean, imagine like what that person is like. The type of person who just executes children and women in cold blood like that. I mean, they would have to like, like I can see like kids being stupid, joining gangs, not realizing, that they are not invincible because everyone at 18 thinks they're invincible, and they're shooting at each other over what color they're wearing. This is different. This is the cartel. This is seriously cold. Cold-blooded killing on the regular. But don't worry, they're gonna. All right. So, the gun in the second car, the one with 9 kids in it, The adult driving the car was Donna Ray Langford. Devin, I'd love to hear him speak. If you guys know of any interviews, like let's say like it'd be interesting. Okay, so children inside. So they're not gonna be able to get anywhere, and they probably don't know the area well. Little do they know, even though they're white, they know the area extremely well. They were born and basically raised there. So, that's when they went for a 14-mile run to save the day, as did Mackenzie. All right, so I'm trying to see. They always have to exaggerate and just tell us straight up. So please vote no on that. Right? Is that what I meant to say? Yeah, yeah. Because I think that might come up again. Said that. So 5 miles back to town, LeBaron said. What the fuck? So confused. Hitman or cartel member, whatever he is, he's screwed. Let's see. Okay, so the eldest child covered the younger. Sorry about that. All right. So they found the was up there, LeBaron said. LeBaron, who lives in Kildare, we've seen that name. All right. The family, this is what I'm talking about. So, and started like they were fatally shot and burned in 3 vehicles as they traveled on a road between Chihuahua and Sonora that year. This is by far the most hideous thing that's ever happened, LeBaron said of the recent attack. It's hard. It won't do anything about it because it's corrupt. We're not able to really protect ourselves down there. LeBaron thanked. Okay, sorry I'm sorry about that one. But he was making needed to be talked about in order for everything to make sense. She moved? Okay. Alright. Alright then. Alright then, I'll do it this way. Because this is important. What is going on? My phone has a life of its own right now. What is going on? Like literally has. I'm almost sure. Isn't that channel 7? What I just had up? I mean, channel 7, NBC. Isn't that NBC? Not this one. This phone is having a life of its own. It's kind of like being weird now. I don't like it. Alright. This is really weird. Okay. AP. Okay. So. You know what? I don't like this at all. What is going on? How do I get rid of this? Alright. Aaron Stadden of Queen Creek, Arizona, said Tuesday that the children are recovering. What is going on here? What the hell is going on here? Okay, here we go. The 5 kids are stable after surviving Mexico attack. Now, I thought it would be important. You know, these ads, they are really obnoxious, huh? I thought it'd be important for you guys to hear how the 5 kids are doing. The ones who are wounded. So, the latest, that's obnoxious, you know? The latest on the slaying of U.S. citizens in northern Mexico, all times local. 6:30 p.m. A relative of the extended... This is unbelievable. A relative of the extended family members killed in a drug cartel ambush in northern Mexico says 5 children who survived the shooting are stable in condition at an Arizona hospital. Aaron Studden of Queen Creek, Arizona, said Tuesday that the children are recovering, but that one who was shot in the jaw will need extensive plastic surgery. So I found that like crazy, like of the little was he 9-month-old, and then that was shot in the chest, and a 4-year-old that was shot in the back. The one who is actually like having the most complications is an 8-year-old who was shot in the jaw. Now I know that's still your head, but it's your jaw. It's not your inner organs. But sounds like that was mentioned for a reason. Because he might be in the worst shape of all 4. He said the family expects the children will... Now, here's another situation. Am I missing something? No. Here's another situation where it's just like editing and just journalism in general has gone down the tubes. Every single one of these stories has had errors, factual errors, grammatical errors, and basically just like IQ test errors in the last one. But he said the family expects the children will transported. I don't know. Unless the children's name is Will. That makes no sense. So Will transported from a Tucson hospital. Then this is AP. Associated Press. You know? I don't know. This is crazy. But that, oh yeah. The family expects children to be transported from a Tucson hospital to a Phoenix facility Wednesday. Stanton's wife is a relative of two of the women who were gunned down, and she is devastated. So that tells me that she is, her last name, I mean, Stanton is the name that she married into, but, Langford was her maiden name. That's what that tells me. 6 children and 3 women died when their SUVs were attacked Monday. They were all U.S. citizens living in Sonora State and apparently related to the to their direct first cousins, to the extended LeBaron family in Chihuahua. I'm telling you, this LeBaron family, I don't like them. And I'm not just saying that. I did a lot of research. Austin Close says his extended family members who were killed in a drug cartel ambush. Am I to read every one of their stories? We know, right, so we know all this. What does Romney say?
And what they learned at that point, the facts continue to get clarified, but obviously it's a great tragedy when any citizens, Mexican or American, in this case American citizens, are brutally murdered. And it's moms and children. This is really unthinkable. And, I agree with the president when he says Mexico has to really knuckle down and go after some of these cartels and stop this escalating level of violence, and hope that if there's a way we can help in that effort, that we're called upon to do so. We have a good...
At least he's, finally agreeing with the president on something. So let's see. See, we know all of this. 12:45. Senator Mitt Romney says he's been briefed on the slaying of 9 U.S. citizens in northern Mexico and calls it a great tragedy and something really unthinkable. A Utah man says, I'll just read the first paragraph of this one. A Utah man says the 3 women killed by drug cartel gunmen in northern Mexico were his aunt and 2 cousins, and that they were all traveling and children in 3 vehicles on a dirt road that they had used frequently without problems. So what confuses me is I hear about this dirt road a couple times, but then also the initial reporting, it kept on saying Mexico highway, a Mexico highway. Unless a Mexico highway is a dirt road, I don't understand what the real one is. I would imagine it's a highway. I always pictured that, but I keep seeing dirt roads. As far as like them describing where they were driving. But what does this guy in Utah know? I don't know. Alright, so really, I mean, the rest of this, the president, he's going to wage war on drug cartels. Yeah, so there's nothing new in here. What I wanted you to get out of this is, the news right here, how the survivors were doing. I wanted you guys to know about that. So now you know how the survivors doing. They're all doing well. The one who's having the most plastic surgery and all of that. So it sounds like they're all going to be okay. 9-month-old, yes, shot in the chest. So there's that. Okay. Next. And we're just about there, guys. Slain U.S. citizens were part of Mormon offshoot with sordid history. Huh. The 9 U.S. citizens who were killed in a brutal ambush by drug cartel gunmen Monday while traveling to Mexico belonged to a Mormon offshoot group that had been touched by cartel violence before. Well, we had heard that 10 years prior, someone in the LeBaron family was killed. There's also something else that happened 10 years prior with the LeBaron family and the cartels, but I'll wait for them to get to it. The 9 U.S. citizens who were killed in a brutal ambush by drug cartel gunmen Monday while traveling in Mexico belonged to a Mormon offshoot group. And I'm just trying to give you guys a better understanding of, their background with this story. While traveling in Mexico belonged to a Mormon offshoot group that has been touched by cartel violence before. The group was part... That's the same thing as they were trying to eliminate the polygamy. Wait, let me read that again. Alright, so it looks like the way they wrote it, they almost wrote it as if like the polygamy was going on back in Utah, and then they were trying to crack down on it, and is the opposite. So basically some years ago. So to escape persecution in the U.S., Alma Dare across the border to Mexico. I'm like losing my voice. Wow. So Benjamin LeBaron was murdered for anti-crime activism. Anna LeBaron, Alma Dare LeBaron's granddaughter, told NBC News that she did not personally know the 9 victims who were killed this week, but she said other family members confirmed they were LeBaron relatives and said the whole family was heartbroken. Over the years, members of the extended LeBaron family have spread throughout northern Mexico, as well as Arizona and Utah, according to Matthew Brauman, a historian and author of The Mormon People, The Making of an American Faith. To infighting. The cult was disbanded in the early 1990s, and her father died in prison in 1981 while serving a life sentence for murder. My father would order mob-style hits, and those would be carried out by false prophets. Mormon Manson. Alright? But in her family, that the family was traveling for rival gangs. That's just ridiculous. That is just ridiculous. I'm sorry. An army car patrols the streets with the picture. And while the LeBaron fundamentalists are Mexico. Oh, they really go out of there. It's like the first thing they say. They are not members of our church. Leave us alone. Huh. Like a further go to. That was bad. So that's Elizabeth Chuck. Have you seen her? All right, so we just learned a lot more, right? We learned about the background of how so many more. What's next? All right, so I do want to show you this. This is important. This is some maps. Here's Sonora right there to the right of it. I'll get you a better map. That guy sent me a good one. Here's one. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. All right. Look at this. To me from them and started heading north. Here's another one, and it kind of shows the actual maps. See, this is exactly what. See, I'll show you. Right here is where I think that this is what happened. You see where it looks like Route 3, is it? Because I used to read maps, I mean, like on the regular. So they were at right here, and you see where there is you can go. Man, my voice is like literally like I'm losing my voice. It's been 24 hours of studying, talking about this, reporting it, talking on the phone to sources. I don't know. I guess that's why. Um, and that's just a map. There's so much more information I could get. I mean, that was just to... Okay, so what's next? Sorry about that. Hold on a second. That's all my college stuff. But hold on. What is going on here? Why did I fall so far back? Alright. Alright, you guys know the Hollywood. So it was very difficult to tell that it was actually KR. Cult. Sex cult in particular. Which is starting to become a theme. So that's Keith Raniere. He's the leader of this cult, believe it or not. That is the way on the right. I hate to even say it, but so the 9 women and children slaughtered in Mexico on Monday. I mean, just because she's pictured next to him doesn't make her guilty. You know what I mean? Anyone could do that. Let's look at the facts. The 9 women and children slaughtered in Mexico on Monday were part of a Mormon community with ties to the alleged sex cult Six of them. The outpost Mormon community in Mexico is where underlings of Navixum leader Keith Raniere recruited young women to work as nannies in an upstate New York compound run by the accused cult, suggesting, at least in part, that the jobs would get the girls away from their home regions. Alright, hold on. This just jumped. We're going to read this story after. I don't know how that happened, but we are going to read that. Leader Keith Raniere recruited young women. So the outpost Mormon community in Mexico is where underlings of... I don't even know how to pronounce the name of their... I thought it was... They didn't spell it right. Isn't it Nvixm? Navixum? Next of them, right? I don't know. We'll see how he spells it the next time. Underlings of next. I'm just gonna call it Nexium. All right, just so I don't have to keep doing this. Nexium leader Keith Raniere recruited young women to work as nannies in an upstate New York compound run by the accused cult. Now, the nannies, I doubt that that's any of the Millers or, any of them or any of the Mormons in that community, because they're very well off, and, the people who have to come to America and be the nannies are most likely, they are in the area right where the Mormons are, but they're probably recruiting. Anyways. So yeah, they would probably be going for a Spanish girl in that situation, not one of the Millers or one of the they came from too much money to even do that. So it would have to be somebody who had nothing. So remember, accused called suggesting at least. I didn't suggest that. Suggest at least. Alright. Raniere recruited young women to work as nannies in an upstate New York compound run by the accused cult, suggesting, at least in part, that the jobs would get the girls away from their home regions, drug violence, according to a man hired by Raniere to produce a documentary about the group. And when he says the group, he's actually talking about this outpost Mormon community. The outpost Mormon community in Mexico is where underlings of Nexium leader Keith Raniere recruited young women to keep work as nannies in an upstate New York compound run by the accused cult, suggesting, at least in part, that the jobs would get the girls away from their home regions, drug violence, according to a man hired by Raniere to produce a documentary about the group being this outpost Mormon group. The 3 moms and 6 kids killed in Sunday's violence in the northern town of Sonora are believed to have been the victims of a drug cartel, which may have mistaken the group's caravan of these mistaken. Really? Alright. Sorry, I was just looking at something. Okay, so um according so to get the would get the girls away from their home region's drug violence. According, it doesn't even say according to, it just says according a man hired by Rainier to produce a documentary about their group, meaning the Mormons. Okay. The 3 moms and 6 kids killed in Monday's violence in the northern town of Sonora are believed to have been the victims of a drug cartel, which may have mistaken, we already said all this, Mexican authorities said Tuesday. The filmmaker working with Rainier at the time, Mark Vicente, told the online magazine Slate that the documentary ultimately became a recruiting video for Nexium, which purported to be a self-help group, but morphed into what the feds called a cult that sexually, physically, and emotionally abused its mainly female followers. So if anyone, I'm not even gonna make a joke. Alright, so the film included an interview with Julian LeBaron, there's that name again, who identified himself as the cousin of one of the moms who killed themselves one day. And alright. So I just listened to what she said. So the film included, so Julian LeBaron, who identified himself as the cousin as one of the moms killed Monday, and who is a leader of the Mexico Mormon community. LeBaron's brother was kidnapped by a local drug cartel in 2009, and the family defiantly refused to pay a ransom. So that was the other thing. So also in 2009, if you guys remember, there was Benjamin LeBaron, and he, his family didn't pay the ransom, and they murdered him. In that same exact year, LeBaron's brother was kidnapped by a local drug cartel, and the family defiantly refused to pay a ransom. So it sounds like they just refused to cooperate with terrorists or in any way, which I think is a good way to go in their position. And guess what? They let him go. The cartel eventually released the abducted man. What's this video?
When you run from National, it's kind of like playing your own version of best ball.
So that's that whole story.
So here you can choose any car in the aisle, even if it's a better car class.
Yeah, I don't even want to. That was just a clickbaity thing as far as the video goes. Alright. Alright. So I was looking at some of these guys, right? I started out looking at let me see, at Don. I then shows this fella here, Bryce David Langford. And I'm just trying to see if any of the names make sense from the friend list, because she was obviously close with this guy, so it makes me wonder. And you see how many Langfords there are. I mean, this is all because one guy decided to have 13 wives and 50 kids. You see this though? It's like, yeah, now we're gonna be, now here's some L's. David Langford, Latte Langford, Tyrell Langford. Here's a Miller, Kyle Miller, Mark Anthony Miller. And look, he's homeschooled. If I ever tried to homeschool my kids, DCF would be at my door. Now, am I stupid? No, I am capable of doing it. And they're not going to show up at that door. They're not going to show up at the mansion door. But they'll show up at my door. Trust me. Emma LeBaron. Brian Stubbs. Yeah, Williamston, North Dakota. Interesting. Randy Michelle on YouTube. Taylor Langford. William Langford. Hannah Alicia. Diana Dimples. I'm trying to see if I can make any other connections. I'm saying a lot of the same names, like a lot of these people are the same names. But this is North Dakota. I want to get out of North Dakota. Unbelievable. Wow. So we're seeing Stubbs, we're seeing Miller, we're seeing Ray, we're seeing Langford, we're seeing LeBaron, Philip Langford, Stubbs again, LeBaron again, Ray again. See, it's the same, like 5 families. LeBaron, Stubbs, Langford, Stubbs, Langford. I mean, they're all very attractive. So, it's just, oh, you know what? I was reading Crystal. She didn't make it, this one. If she's as young as Yeah, she's 12, right? Yeah. Let me see. Is that the family? The baby too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's so sad. I can't. It's so different when like you find like the actual Facebook. Miller. Now, just so we know what we're looking for, we're not just like looking through crap. I would love to find the Howard Miller Senior. You know what? I think a good way of doing that is let's go to a Miller. Right? He's young, but still. He might connect to more Millers than anything. Or not. Langford, Stubbs. And also, another one I've been seeing is Silviera, but we'll see. Stubbs,